There is society,
and there is reality.
That's my dad. That's my dad.
Welcome. I am BBT, and you can ask me anything. How y'all doing today? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday morning. Sunny out here. Beautiful day. It was raining a little bit yesterday, so it's a little wet outside, but amazing weather. I dropped the kids off this morning. My son got in a little bit of trouble, so he has to do some extra credit work, so we got to get him there early. So I got a chance to get out early, walk the dog, took them to school. The weather is amazing. Love living in South Florida. It's awesome. Yes. So how you doing today? I have a lot to talk about. I have a yoga class in about an hour and a half, so I want to jump right into it. So let's get right into these tweets of the day. First tweet: Elon Musk startup, which makes an implant that connects computers to brains, hopes to begin human trials in 6 months. Neuralink's brain chip plans help the blind see and the paralyzed walk. So would you put a chip in your head? I guess that kind of corresponds with the New World Order. I guess this goes with the theme of the narrative that someone like Elon Musk would have too much power. He has this Neuralink, he has Starlink, obviously he has Tesla, Solar City, SpaceX, Twitter. He's talking about doing a phone. Is it, does this man have too much power? He's the world's richest man. He had a huge influence in crypto. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm all about individuals that are creating solutions for the problems of the world. If this could potentially help a blind person see or a paralyzed person walk, maybe it is a good thing. But I don't know. It might go against your belief that that's what God intended you to be or to have. So I don't know. Next tweet. 19keys.e says, remember, these employee cuts aren't just a sign of the economy, it's a sign of the technological change. AI and robots have replaced many jobs that will never recover. Human capital labor force is decreasing in value. Yeah, I agree. I've been saying this for a while. AI and the robots are coming. It was already part of the plan to cut a lot of jobs. You see companies like Twitter going from 8,000 employees to a few hundred. And I've been stressing the fact that more companies are going to do more with less. And the thing about it, you guys, you got to embrace what's out here. There are opportunities for you to get behind the microphone, get in front of the camera, start earning some money. You can earn money through social media platforms. You can earn money through YouTube. So there are a lot of different opportunities for you to make money. If you have any type of skills, you could jump on Upwork. Whether it's you actually have skills with your hand, you could jump on Thumbtack. You can create your own business. There's a gig economy. You can go and drive for Uber. You could deliver. Then you can turn that and build your own thing. So I think that as a society, we got to stop being lazy. We got to understand a lot of your jobs are going to get cut. A lot of the cozy and comfortable things that you think you have is not going to be there in a few years. So you got to get off your ass and you got to get out there and start doing your own thing. Next week, Congressman Troy Nail says the EU just threatened to ban Twitter unless Elon Musk censors it. It's insane to see how many are against free speech. Yeah, I told you this thing is going to get big. It's going to go international. They are going to come after Elon. Elon is trying to do something that hasn't been done before. He is trying to even the playing field. He's trying to give regular people a voice. He's trying to correct the wrongs of how the press and the powers to be use the media to control the narrative. And they don't want that. And so therefore they're going to come at him. And now Europe is saying they're going to pull out of Twitter. But I don't know. I think that if they do that, the people are going to rebel. And that's the reality of the world we live in. If people understand their power, unite, it's going to be hard for them to try to control things. You see that with China. Next tweet. Jason says SBF says he made some mistakes. He's embarrassed and he's sorry. We can all move on now. Yeah, I talked about this on the other show. I did a little recap of the first 2 minutes of the interview. Yeah, he's sorry. He's sorry. Yeah, 1.6 billion. Yeah, I made some mistakes. Let's move on now. But I tend to agree with this next tweet. Ben Armstrong says if Sam is not arrested by the end of December, I want to get a large group, maybe 100 plus of people together who lost money at FTX. We would go to the Bahamas and protest outside government buildings, the Albany, and real estate properties until he is arrested. I don't want to see anybody get arrested, but at the end of the day, this man has to be accountable for something. I don't think he's going to get arrested. I think he has too much dirt on people. Once again, this dude donated to a lot of political campaigns. He was in bed with a lot of people, and I think that he will be protected. I really do. I think he will be protected. But those are the tweets of the day. Tweet, 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 tweet. So I want to talk about a topic that's been near and dear to me for a while. I'm gonna show you a couple posts that I've made back on social media for a while now. So this is a graphic. Modern slaves are not in chains; they're in debt. I think that part of the genius of the world that we live in today, the powers that be that kind of control the narratives to kind of keep us in our place. They made it so that obviously you can't actually have slavery anymore, right? Nah, it's no way that's going to happen. But you can do it in a different way. You can do it mentally, you could do it financially, you could do it spiritually. And in this actual image is talking about debt, right? Like as long as you owe, as long as you're protecting your credit score, you're not going to take risks. You're not going to jump out there. So it's almost like you may have so much potential to do so many different things, but you won't do it because of the fact that you must protect this or protect that, or you got to pay this or that. So it's a genius in it, right? Like I said, you can't do it one way, but we're going to do it a different way. Anyway, the next post I said back in 2014, I probably even said it before that. I said you could be a king and a slave at the same time and don't even realize it. I've been talking about the fact that athletes, entertainers couldn't speak up. I've been saying that for a long time. It's like they throw this imagery or they throw these videos on talking about how much these athletes make, but let them speak up and speak out. Once again, this is 2014. This is 8 years ago, and we see what happened with Kyrie. We're gonna give you this, but as long as you fall in line. And I don't know, is there a price for your freedom? Is there a price for to mute your voice? Obviously, it is. I mean, a lot of you work jobs and you won't speak up because you got to protect that position that you have. With athletes, they're not going to speak out. You see, Kyrie was the only one speaking out. You got all them players in the NBA, NFL, and no one really held it down with them because they must protect their position. They know if they say something, what can happen to them. So, is that real freedom? Even though, in theory, they got all this money. The next point I made. Now, one of the movies that was really powerful to me was The Birth of a Nation. And I wait, am I getting confused with 12 Years a Slave or Birth of a Nation? I get them confused. But anyway, let's read this. The last Birth of a Nation update. It's amazing how the only book they wanted us to read was the Bible, and they only wanted us to read parts of it to justify their actions. Anyway, I want every slave story to hit the big screen, even the stories about the modern day slavery going on today. Oftentimes, it takes a bunch of different angles for us to fully get it. The more we see, the more we will understand what freedom truly is, and we won't abuse the opportunities we have today. The more aware I become, the more I realize that slavery didn't just end; it's still going on. And the more method methodical approach, it's more whips and it's no more whips and chains. It's all about controlling our minds. Yeah, see, I said it better. That's a lot of times I read these posts because I'm not the best at in the moment. But when I get going and my creative juices are flowing, I could spit it out there. But yeah, it's not about whips and chains. It's about controlling the mind. So, and the next one I had was when you think about it, why were blacks such a threat? That they did everything in their power to keep us enslaved. Wasn't it bad enough that we were slaves for hundreds of years? Whether it was Black Wall Street or the Black Panther Party, they would block every effort we made to unite and make us out to be the villains. And if our voice got too loud, like Malcolm and Martin, they would take us out. But yet they forced us to believe it's equal opportunity when their generational wealth was built off our backs. And I guess it worked because we stopped fighting and started accepting their materialism. Yeah, we don't fight anymore. We get our nice paycheck, we get a nice house, a nice car, and we believe that we good. And then things like COVID happens, and they shut our businesses down, or our jobs get canceled or terminated. And then we're like, why me? Why me? Why me? And the reality is, I think that concepts like comfort is a myth. I think that the middle class is a myth. I think that they give us just enough not to say anything. But unfortunately, the way how the world works, bad shit is going to happen, and we're going to have to be able to fend for ourselves. And unfortunately, a lot of us don't know how to fend for ourselves because we're slave to this dollar, we're slave to this company, we're slave to this paycheck. So I don't know. I said my part. I think that before I jump into these videos and get some backing, because I don't want you to think I'm the only one that thinks this. I think that one of the biggest things we have to do is we have to understand the value that we have um, internally, who we are, what our capabilities are. I never forget. A lot of people thought I was crazy when I quit a job making 100+ thousand work for the government. I had a corner office. I didn't have to do much, but the position was so draining. I saw a lot of people making a lot of money, 150, 200,000. But these people look so stressed. I mean, when you had conversations with them, they were like zombies. And I said, no, I can't do this. I can't get locked into a situation like this. So I quit. I was working there. I was selling real estate. I was about to start my own business. A lot of people say you should have stayed, should have kept that money, but I felt like I would have got trapped in that situation. So I left. And yeah, looking back, should I have kept it? No, I shouldn't have, because I believe that happiness is a choice. I believe that once you recognize and realize the traps that are put in front of us, it's best that you run. And sometimes that may lead to you struggling a little bit, but I think that, it's better to struggle at that time in order to eventually find your peace. But anyway, I left that position, and when I started running my own business, and I stopped receiving checks from any companies or the government or anyone. um, it was a struggle. It was a big time struggle at first, and as I got going, I built up this mindset. I used to tell people, I would say, Google can offer me $1 million a year, and I would turn it down. I said, there's no price for my freedom. I love my freedom. I love the fact that I can do what I want to do. I can go when I want to go. I don't have to ask for permission for anything. And obviously, that's a process, right? That's not something that you come right out of high school and you say, I'm gonna be the man. Sometimes you gotta learn. Sometimes you gotta sit back and you gotta learn. I worked for corporate America for 4 or 5 years. I worked for the government for a year. So I actually learned how they did things. I learned what my style was gonna be. I read books after book after book, how to be a leader, how to run a company. So it wasn't like that. I just had this rebellious mentality that I don't need anyone. No, I actually learned from people. But once I got comfortable and got to that point, I said, nah, I would never go back. I mean, I've even said statements like, I would rather be homeless than work for somebody. And so I'm not saying you got to be that extreme. I think that in order for us to not be a slave to the dollar or not be a slave to someone else, we got to have this mentality that I trust in something higher. I believe in myself that no matter what situation I will be put in, I'll figure it out because I'm going to figure it out because I have help. So, anyway, let me play this. I got a couple videos I want to play, and then I am going to get up out of here.
But what I'm trying to tell y'all is ain't none of us free. Ain't none of us billionaires. Billionaires, they don't care.
We don't
they
have
do
to be
whatever.
a billionaire to be free. Yeah, stop equating freedom to money, my brother. Where does that mentality come from?
It comes.
Why are you equating freedom to money? Money is not what makes us free as people, man.
Y'all would like to. They would like us to think that we are free, but we completely control. We control by a Nike sign. We control by peer pressure. We control by the longing for a particular car to set at a high price.
So yeah, he's been on this thing for a while. He's been talking about. I think one of the most powerful songs that you can listen to is "New Slaves" on the Yeezus album. The album that obviously didn't get critically acclaimed. It got a lot of criticism. But go and read the lyrics for "A New Slave" and really, really listen. Read the lyrics. Don't even listen to the beat. Read the lyrics and listen to what the man was saying many, many years ago about Weird being a new slave. So let me play this other video.
Illegal. Everyone that slavery became in America illegal. Everyone that had slaves were still lawmakers that used to have slaves. They still were passing laws. So can you imagine this conversation? Yo, what are we going to do now? We don't have slaves. Well, we have to make it where they're slaves, but they don't know it. How do we do that? Well, let's oppress them and let's make them fight each other. So every time one kills, we get one kill, and then one goes to jail. We get 2 for 1. Plus, they all have kids. They have kids. So now they don't have parents. They're disenfranchised. So now the kids do the same exact thing because they have nobody to lead them. It's just the plan to make us think we're winning when we're losing. But what we really do is we give away our freedom. So what happens is you commit a crime, you hurt your brother, and now legally you're in chains. You're put in a cage and you're working for slave wages. And now, instead of slave master, it's warden or CO. It's a plan. So they always trick us into giving away our freedom by dangling a bag.
So yeah, Dame is one of the best to speak on these topics. And yes, the 13th Amendment that made it legal to have slaves. They just do it differently. They do it in another format. I got one more video to play and then I'm out of here.
Brother Kyrie thought he was free. Kanye, Brother Ye, thought he was free just like you. And we see the catastrophic events taking place. Even LeBron James, who has a $1 billion contract with Nike over his lifetime, is an economic slave, bound to contracts. Our people, what we tend to do when we become financially successful, it comes with chains. Spiritual and mental change. Like what? You can never stand up for your people. You can never rally against injustice. You have to sit back. Ask LeBron, he'll tell you. Ask Kyrie, he'll tell you. Ask Ye, he'll let you know. Hey, they're going to do this to you. They're going to do that. And I've seen it firsthand.
So yeah, there you have it. There you have it. There you have it. So once again, I think that how to develop an ownership mindset, you got to first work on you. You got to really embrace the concept of self-care, taking care of yourself. You really got to embrace the concept of introspection. You really got to embrace the concept of delayed gratification. And you got to develop the mindset of, I am going to own whatever I do. And if I don't now, I'm going to work towards it. Once you have that mindset, you're not going to be so you won't define success as by their measures. You'll define success by your measures. And once you start to embrace the fact that, no, I believe in me, I believe in something higher, I'm gonna be okay no matter what situation I am put in. So yeah, I think that the best way to actually provide an answer or come up with a solution to a problem is we got to accept that there is a problem. And the problem is that we are slaves today. It's just in a different format. And once we accept that, now we can start to work to not be a slave. And I think one of the big ways to do that is to change this by just doing all the things that I said. So that's all I got. I hope that you have a happy Thursday. It's almost Friday, y'all. Yeah, enjoy your day. And I'm out of here. Peace.